In today's video, I'm sharing how to elevate your basics this summer. The style tips you need to know to create those genuinely, effortlessly chic yet everyday outfit ideas that will hopefully see you through the season. A portion of today's video has very kindly been supported by a brand that I've had the great pleasure of being an ambassador for the last year, Pandora. So I'm really looking forward to sharing with you what I chose a little bit later. So let's get started. Absolutely yes. Traditionally, when we think about basics, a few staples do spring to mind. A classic t-shirt, a great pair of smart casual trousers, your fail-safe jeans, and a wear-everywhere dress. But the fashion trends can dictate what becomes a new staple in our wardrobes as well. This year, like the last, has seen the humble waistcoat make its way into lots of our wardrobes as well. And having those trend-led pieces just sprinkled amongst your classic items is a really easy way to elevate your outfits, plus make them feel a touch more up to date. So if we think about what's particularly on trend this spring summer, it would be this slightly longer line waistcoat that sits mid-hip. It's a little bit more ladylike and quite elegant actually, and certainly compared to last year's interpretation. And that's maybe why I can imagine it becoming a bit of a true classic in our wardrobes as well for years to come. Now, I would personally opt for linen for breathability, but also having that added texture in the mix. And quite quickly, I'm sure you'll see how this very simple staple can be styled with your basics very easily all summer long. Now, while I will always love a timeless classic outfit idea, when I think about the style tips that I personally reach for to elevate my summer basics, there's often an element of going a little bit off script here and there. It just kind of makes them feel just that little bit different. So for instance, when styling a very simple look of, say, a white shirt and a great pair of jeans, I guess the traditional elevating touches would be to add a belt and maybe a nice handbag. And that does absolutely work, but there are actually some really easy ways to make this outfit feel even more elevated. So firstly, I would stack my necklaces to sit in a layered effect with that shirt, and then I would layer my bracelets too and just tie in that gold. Then I would add a more statement belt instead that just ties in with that gold. I'd add in my sunnies, make sure my hair feels polished, and then for something a little bit off script, I would switch out that classic handbag for an elevated daytime clutch instead. This one is such a simple style tip, but just adding that clutch instead of my usual everyday bag can just instantly change up and really elevate such a simple outfit. Now, as an extension of going a little bit off script that we talked about before, considering a high-low contrast can be a really helpful style tip when you're wanting to elevate your basic summer outfits. Think about dressing down your silky skirts with, say, a simple t-shirt, for example. High-low looks are one of the simplest yet most effective fashion tips in the Stylist Little Black Book. And we often see these looks repeated by fashionistas at the shows each season, mainly because they can work so very well. It just creates a very confident yet slightly nonchalant, I just kind of threw this outfit together, effortless kind of vibe. But actually, like any good outfit, these are often thought through really well in advance. So an elevated silky skirt with a dress down t-shirt, the smartest trousers you have in your wardrobe with a simple tank top, something maybe a little bit sparkly or statement with your favorite everyday jeans. And remember the wrong shoe theory too. Adding that unexpected pop of color with your shoes, your bag, or your scarf can have an amazing effect. Now, when you think about styling those really basic staple pieces that we've all got in our own wardrobes, try and think about what your points of interest are. Is it a statement belt, or the way you've styled your hair, or perhaps an interesting button or two? And if you want the easiest style tip of all, let your jewellery add the detail for you. But it's important to remember not to just plonk on your jewellery and be done with it. How you style those pieces within your outfit ideas is just as important, which I shall share with you now. So first up, let me show you what I've chosen this month at Pandora, because I think and I hope you're all going to love it as much as me. How beautiful is this ring? So this has been made from 14 karat gold with a lab-grown diamond in a bezel setting in the center. It's very subtle and elegant and refined and oh so very beautiful. I feel really lucky to have it in my collection. Now, the joy of choosing lab-grown diamonds is of course their sustainability. And when they look and feel exactly the same mean, why would we ever choose the alternative anymore? Now, as you'll have seen with this first outfit idea, I've done a hint of layering, but rather than just plonk everything on in a bit of a haphazard fashion, I think it's really important to be considered with it as well. So for example, this outfit is pretty relaxed and quite summery, so by layering jewellery, it really suits the look. A little bit like flowers, it's more visually appealing to layer in odd numbers. I've added my solid gold bracelet, my beautiful new ring, and my matching stud earrings to complete the look. And this style tip works the opposite way as well. So here's an outfit idea that I wore the other night to go and watch The Lion King in the West End in London the other night. An absolutely fabulous show, by the way, if you've not seen it yet. Definitely the one to watch. But I really wanted to keep my outfit very simple, understated and classic, and just really elevate the look with a hint of sparkle. So running with that theme of refined simplicity, I added my lovely new ring, the stud earrings to match, and this time I just went for one necklace and a delicate bracelet. As many of you know, I've had the great pleasure of being an ambassador for Pandora Jewellery for just over a year, I think now. And in all honesty, based on my own experience, I cannot recommend them enough. I love their quality, their attention to detail, their commitment to sustainability, and it comes as no surprise they were voted one of the world's best companies to work for. And they're so lovely. It's always an absolute pleasure to share their pieces with you all. They've grown so much even in the last year, so definitely worth another look, as they really do have something for everyone. So I've added links to everything I chose this month in the description box below. So at the end of this video, please do click the link and take a look at all that beautiful jewellery for yourself. How to elevate your basics this summer? Consider the colour balance within your outfits that you create. Now, the two main ways you could do this would either be one, match up your accessories to tie the look together, or two, opt for pops of unexpected colour to add a bit of a statement. So take this basic staple outfit of mine. I could opt for black accessories and make sure that I keep tying those in with my handbag, my belt, my shoes, and even a ring to really elevate the look. Or I could think about a statement pop of colour and style it with these shoes instead. I think both outfits work, and I can imagine wearing both of them for different occasions. So it just depends what mood you're in and the direction you want your outfit to take on any given day. Now, another style tip when it comes to balancing colours is that it's much easier to have your staple basics in an array of classic, understated hues than it would be in, say, lots of different colours. I really like a pop of colour here and there, or perhaps a statement red dress or two, but I would rarely, if ever actually, buy my basics in those tones. They're just not versatile enough for me, and they can be visually quite loud and fussy, and then inevitably will make the mixing and matching of your outfits quite a lot harder. Make your job easier right from the start and focus on understated shades in those classic tones for the base of your wardrobe. Now, before you groan at me, oversized pieces can have a really positive effect on your outfit ideas, and indeed elevate them beautifully if they're truly considered. For example, I would consider a blazer one of my absolute favourite basics. I wear them pretty much all year, and when I style an oversized version over some of my staple summer outfits, it's hard to deny that it doesn't really elevate those looks. Now, aside from being particularly on trend, the major plus of this style tip for me is that it's adding more shape and contrast to your looks, however simple they may be. A t-shirt and a pair of jeans alone could be quite boring, but adding an oversized blazer just changes the dimension of the look as a whole. As you can see, my top half now looks wider, which gives the illusion of being longer and leaner on my bottom half. It's making my shoulders look more defined, and when contrasted with that focal point of my belt, it really adds a subtle hourglass silhouette to the look overall. And you don't just have to do this with a blazer. A simple shirt can have the same effect when used in a similar way. So I would leave your shirt open so it resembles the shape of a blazer, and just layer it over, say, a simple tank and your jeans kind of outfit, or perhaps with shorts if it gets a little bit warmer. It's more subtle than before, obviously, but the effect is still the same. Layering oversized pieces is an easy way to elevate your basics. And of course, on top of that, it's a really practical way of getting the most out of your wardrobe that you already have all year long. Now, whatever your basic wardrobe consists of, going tonal with those pieces is an easy way to elevate your looks. And personally, a monochrome outfit is definitely a favorite of mine from an aesthetic point of view. The fact that it's quite elevating at the same time is just a very welcome bonus. Now in summer, the easiest option for me would be to opt for my classic white basics. Pair a long white skirt with a ribbed cotton tank. Elevate the look with say 3 layered necklaces over the top. Think about texture and add a straw bag into the mix. And then all you need is your sunnies and hopefully the sunshine and you're good to go. Or another idea that's equally very simple would be to start with a base of shorts and a tank or maybe a t-shirt. Thinking about that oversized element from before, I could then add an open shirt over the top to just give myself more shape and contrast, and then finish with a similar layering of jewellery. Most people already know how helpful tonal outfits can be when you're wanting to feel a bit more polished, but it's important to remember that not all basics are created equal. If you've splurged on your trend-led pieces and you're scraping the barrel for your basics, in my humble opinion, you've got it the wrong way round. I always save the largest portion of my budget for my basics, and then I add my more affordable trend-led pieces here and there throughout the season. That way, the pieces that I reach for the most have the quality, the fit and longevity to truly last for years to come. Now I've mentioned this style tip recently, but it's so handy, it's definitely worth repeating. The one tailored element rule can have an incredible finishing touch effect on your outfit ideas, and even more so when you're wanting to go for those everyday basics. Add a tailored trench coat as a final layer over your loungewear, a pleated pair of trousers styled with a slogan tee, a structured blazer with a floaty skirt and a tank. It doesn't really matter what the outfit is, but adding that tailored element into the mix will always take it up a notch or 10. And for extra points, I would consider adding a contrasting texture of said tailored element to add that extra statement factor into your outfits. Now, despite being a fashion blogger and filming styling videos for YouTube week in, week out, I can't seem to shake off my 16-year-old self insistence on cutting my own fringe. And sometimes, like I mentioned the other week, I do it really, really badly. So as I mentioned, my fringe is ridiculously short and so bad that I have to pin it back, which actually reminds me to say a huge thank you to all of you lovely ladies who left me really gorgeous comments to make me feel a little bit better. It definitely worked and I'm very, very grateful. So this silly accident has forced me to find a new hairstyle, and that's actually been a bit of a revelation for me because it's kind of elevating my outfits all by itself. Who would have thought? A happy bonus of getting a little bit too carried away with those hairdressing scissors. There's quite a few trends with hair at the moment, but one of them is going for that kind of 90s, quite big, bouncy, long bob kind of look. And that in itself as a hairstyle does feel quite polished and refined looking. And not only does it look nice when you're quite dressed up in a pretty dress, but it also helps to polish those quite basic staple kind of outfits that we might wear on a day-to-day basis. So a little bit of distraction tactics. I've been setting my hair in these big bouncy curls and then just letting them fall back over the top of my pinned back fringe. The result as a whole actually feels so much more put together and polished, and perhaps having such a defined hairstyle for my hair for once feels more elevating overall. I'm not saying I will never go back to that quite carefree looking long fringe that I used to love, but it has made me realize how playing with your hair and indeed your makeup too can make as much difference to those basic outfits as a new item of clothing can. In fact, I'm now looking at my hair and makeup more like an accessory to my outfits than I ever have before. And I would really, really advise you to do the same. Polished hair will accentuate a polished outfit. I would just advise that you don't really badly cut your own fringe to realize that. Don't forget to take a look at all that stunning Pandora jewellery that I've linked in the description box below. So many beautiful pieces that I always have a really hard job choosing which to pick. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video and you've learned some new and helpful style tips of how to elevate your basics this summer. Making timeless, everyday outfits with basics never has to feel boring. It's the way you style those pieces together that will make all the difference. Have a wonderful week ahead, everyone, and as always, a huge thank you to all of you for all your support. It's always wholeheartedly appreciated. Have a great few days, and I will see you on Sunday. Take care.